I went to an early screening of Fly Me to the Moon, having seen a couple of trailers for it and thought, that looks really good. But it was quite different from what I thought. Welcome to another movie review. Welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above in case you are looking for something to watch this week. Yes, Fly Me to the Moon. So this one stars Scarlett Johanssen and Channing Tatum, and we sort of see from the trailer that he works at Apollo, specifically at the time that we pick up the movie on the Apollo 11 mission. And she is an advertising director. And so you're sort of thinking, well, how does this all go together? And she's kind of tells him, yeah, basically I've been brought in to like sell NASA. The Apollo mission is needing funding. It's needing more funding from the government. There's been, obviously, as we know, some failed missions. And so people are a little bit like, yeah, the world's all a bit rubbish right now. We don't want to be wasting money on space travel because that's not something that actually directly impacts the public. And she goes in and puts a very different spin on it and secures them some more funding. And so it sounds on paper like, well, that's a really boring concept for a film, but actually it's really funny. We've got that kind of like, that classic like rom-com book, like enemies to lovers, will they, won't they type of thing. Are they going to get it on or not? Then we've got the amazing things that she decides to bring in with her absolute silver tongue, like never mind silver, like platinum tongue, the way she's just able to convince people of things. She is a true salesperson, and anybody would be lucky to have her doing their marketing and advertising for them, because she's a two-woman team. It's her and her assistant, and that's it. And she achieves all of what she achieves. I think it's absolutely amazing, like just from that perspective, watching this film. And so we've got like that side of it. And then we've got the whole excitement in the build up to the Apollo 11 mission, with the hindsight that we as viewers have of the Apollo 11 mission. So it's that whole excitement, like knowing that the mission itself is going to be a success, and knowing that the people on the screen don't know that yet. The tension of that, and then we've got this Woody Harrelson character. Now, having recently watched Cheers all the way through, literally from start to finish, I'm like a huge Woody Harrelson fan right now. I just love him, but I've always liked him in films and on TV shows. I loved him in Will and Grace, and his character in this film is just like the most random and funny, and just a lot like Woody in Cheers, actually. And so this is where the comedy comes in. I didn't go into this film thinking that I would laugh as much as I did, but in fact, with it being an early screening, the cinema was basically full. And the whole cinema was laughing so much. Like, the woman next to us was having an amazing time. There was points in the film where I laughed and nobody else did. There was points in the film where she laughed and nobody else did. You know, I think I would have got along with this woman. And it was just, I needed to go to the cinema and laugh that much on Thursday night. I needed to be taken away from the real world and see a film where I was going to laugh. And I wasn't expecting that much of a laugh. I was expecting a bit of a rom-com, a bit of a sort of Hidden Figures, space, NASA type of thing, really going into it in a little bit more depth. But actually, it was so funny. Scarlett Johansson was funny. Channing Tatum was funny. Woody Harrelson was hilarious. And then Woody Harrelson not only brings in the humour aspect of it, but he also brings in the things that surround the moon landing, the conspiracy theories that surround the moon landing. And he sort of brings that into the whole storyline of the film. And so, his character and him as an actor just really elevate the film in a whole other way. I thought that Scarlett Johansson in this film was fabulous. We had a random moment with a cameo from Colin Jost as well. I was like, I literally did that thing, you know, that meme with Leonardo DiCaprio when it's like, oh, when you see someone from The Office in something else, you know, or like when you see someone that you know in a film and you're like, oh, it's them. I literally was like, oh, it's her husband. That's so weird. But yeah, he plays a random conservative senator. But the character that she plays has to be able to play characters themselves. We know she's had a bit of a interesting background, which we don't find out an awful lot about until the end of the film. And so she kind of will then go out and be the right thing for the people that she's dealing with. So when she's convincing a sort of conservative senator to give money towards the space race, she becomes, you know, your classic Georgia Peach, very conservative herself. And then when she's convincing a more sort of like, you know, people at the very beginning of the film, we see her talking about people rebranding the Mustang so it's like family friendly, and she goes in there and she plays the housewife, and the housewife who, you know, but can actually get the marketing done for them and various things like that. So she has to play someone who plays people, and does all these different accents. And so that was really fun, because yeah, the last sort of things that I saw her in were the Marvel films, and so it's been a little while since I've seen her play something like, when I sort of first enjoyed seeing her as an actress when she was in the film version of The Nanny Diaries, which again, I was like one of those films going into thinking, I love this book and I'm not sure I'm going to love the movie. And then the movie was fabulous. So, yeah, I feel like a reread and rewatch of that one coming on for sure. And then, yeah, Channing Tatum again. I've only really seen him in Magic Mike. So it was interesting seeing him playing a different part. It just out of circumstance that I've not really seen him in a lot of other things. And he was also very funny and had good comedic timing. Ray Romano was in this one. I'm trying to think who else was in this one, but it was interesting. And obviously seeing another group of actors playing those 3 astronauts from Apollo 11, always good. I'm always interested in those things to do with the space race, because it was just, you have to put yourself back in that time and not look at it with the perspective that we have today when space travel is what it's become today. And then also I'm excited because I'm going to go to that NASA location in Florida in December, and I'm like, oh, we're going there. I was doing more pointing at the screen. It was just a great time. So I've already recommended this film to people. Should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one? It's a 12A, so it is definitely one that could be sort of family friendly, taking older children to go and see it, and just having a nice time and all laughing together. Does it have to be seen on the big screen? I don't think so. It was in partnership with Apple TV, so I'm sure it'll be on Apple fairly soon. However, I think that the whole experience of sitting together in the cinema and laughing with the other people in the cinema, I think was part of the enjoyment for me. Part of the fact that we were laughing together and we were enjoying this film together, it was that shared experience. So whilst you don't necessarily need to have seen it on the big screen and have the sound from the big screen and what have you, I think seeing it as a shared experience was a really fun one and should be something you do if you can. So highly recommend the film. Thought it was fabulous. Would gladly rewatch. And yeah, if you're looking for something to watch this week, I would give this one a go for sure. As always, if there is a particular film you would like me to watch this week and share my thoughts on with you here next week, do let me know in comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my future movie review videos and my bookish content coming your way in the week. And I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.